It's been a while since I've done any of these blogs. The past two that I did was questions that some people had sent me. I think it was called the Hesitation blog, and then Fighting Depression. As you saw in the beginning of the video, that structure, there was a structure that was passing by and I had to record it because it just, life and these past, I would say, year and a half, my life, you can see me on Instagram, posting wrestling stuff and all this, but here's the thing is, social media has ruined the perception of the world to the point that everybody thinks because they see somebody taking a picture, smiling, holding a drink, or, putting all these quotes at the bottom, that they're free, that they're trying to find themselves. I think it's a bunch of BS, to be honest with you. Social media is probably the biggest scam that I have ever seen. Because the thing is, I have different professions. From personal training to professional wrestler to business owner. I've met a lot of different people. And I've heard a lot of different stories. And I've seen a lot of people be their true selves behind the scenes. And I realize this is a nasty fucking world we live in, man. People are in it for themselves. I'll say this. There is obviously exception to the rule. 1 out of 10 really means what they say, but nobody nowadays walks their talk. Nobody nowadays is who they say they are. Everybody is always trying to get over somebody. Even if that means backstabbing somebody. Even if that means, lying to somebody. That's the world we have been to. So social media ain't no fucking difference. So I'm driving by and I've seen this video that you saw, the structure. And this structure is standing. It used to be a movie theater, and these machines are there hitting it and hitting it, and then you got another machine coming in and hitting it. I sat there. I recorded only a couple minutes, but I sat there, and they went at it for 20 minutes, and that motherfucker wouldn't come down. It would not come down. So that told me, that related so much to my life, and I just, maybe somebody that's listening could relate to your life, that sometimes that storm that you're going through life, you don't know how long it's gonna be. You don't know if it's gonna last 2 months, it's gonna last 2 years, or it might last fucking 2 decades. The thing is your foundation built on rock, or is it built on sand? Where all this adversity and all these situations that I put myself into, because I'm not gonna sit here and blame somebody else. I put myself in these situations for decisions at the moment I thought were correct, for decisions and the moment I thought they were the best. But then later on, I see repercussions. I say, well, I shouldn't have done that. And I should have stopped over here and I should have pumped the brakes. I should have questioned this person a little bit more. Here's the thing. When it comes to human beings, human nature, the number one trait of a human being is selfishness. As first as my tummy full, am I fully clothed? We have to understand that selfishness is the human being's number one trait. The difficult part is being able to break from that. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be selfish to the point that if you're being a competitor or you're living some type of life that you have to dedicate to the gym, and you can't go out and you can't be so much with the family enjoying all these, yeah, you gotta be selfish. There's different types of selfishness in order to get to where you want to get, and that's the honest truth. But it is up to the individual, says, how selfish am I willing to be to get what I want to get? So I'm looking at the structure, man, and it's shaking. And everything I'm saying is not because I want some form of pity. It's just to share this because the messages I get from all you guys, that you share how you watched the video and you were going through something and you related to something I said, and you just, it kind of sparked a light bulb and you looked at the situation different. That's the reason I'm doing. Right now, it's maybe 1 a.m. I'm laying down in bed, I'm tossing and turning. I can't sleep. I have so much in my head that says, man, I'm gonna put this, in a video blog, and maybe it might help somebody. If your structure is built on a solid foundation, the storms of life can come. People can come and try and ruin you. People can come and try and tell you something, Your structure is going to be very difficult to fall, and you should be proud of it. Because all the liars, all the fucking cheaters, and all these fucking people that they say they stand for something, motherfuckers, we live in a world that is so fake. We live in a world that is full of bullshit. Somebody, I was training a client a while back, And I remember she said, she's like, you know, something should happen to you so you can be more humble. You're always posting workout videos. You're always talking like, you know, like everything goes great for you. I remember during that time is one of the most difficult, you know, moments. Well, that's where basically a lot of bad stuff started in my life. And I kept thinking of the, you know, the perception of other people that they might look at me. Some people might be intimidated, by me. Some people might, you know, say that guy's an asshole. Why is he an asshole? Oh, because he has a beard, and you know, my ex-boyfriend had a beard, so it reminds me of him. So that means he's a fucking asshole, because that's the way the brain works. You know, you see somebody into something, and it reminds you of a certain situation. So yeah, I'm gonna label this person, and then you meet the person. Oh wow, I thought you were so different. You're actually a nice guy. You actually listen. Perception. So I never try to judge a book by its cover until people start showing you little, you can call it red flags, you can call it whatever, but you start seeing little behaviors that if you're not an aware person, later on, they're gonna catch up to you and something's gonna happen. For example, doing business with people that say they're gonna do something and you give them money, large amount of money, they disappear. That tells me everything. Do you think I'm gonna trust that person again? Then the person has the audacity, has the fucking arrogance to come back and say, well, if you want the job done, you know, you can give me another chunk of money and I'll get it done, because all the money that you gave me and I should have done the job, basically the money's gone. Lesson learned. Never doing that mistake in the business side ever again. But a lot of people can tell me, hey, watch out for this. Until you go through it, then you learn from it. Because you feel the pain. When you feel the pain of the situation, that's when you can relate when somebody else was telling you, say, oh, that's what the fuck they meant. Now I get it. Some people, they learn from others. And they say, yeah, I'm not gonna do that because I saw that person trip, so I don't wanna go through that road because I might trip too. Some people keep tripping and keep tripping and keep tripping and never fucking learn. Accountability, decisions, get you the future you have. You know, there's some things you can control, there's some things you can't control. Well, in situations, you know, it starts, I get a phone call. You know, your dad is in stage 5 kidney failure. A couple months later, dog gets sick. Take him to the vet. I couldn't go inside, it was the emergency room. Give me a call. Say, yeah, what's wrong with my dog? Your dog has stage 3, stage 4 congestive heart failure. So his heart's too big for his body, has a heart murmur, his lungs are full of fluid. So we're gonna give you medication, and you might live weeks, he might live months, maybe a year the most. Don't know. Okay. I remember sitting down there and just thinking, it's okay. My dad, don't know how much time he has left. My dog, don't know how much time he has left. Bad decision, you know, business standpoint where, you know, because I made this decision now, it hurts everything to the point where I can't just grab my stuff and leave because I still got to work to make some form of money to pay, you know, all the bills on top of, you know, the medication for the dog. A couple weeks go by. I hear a knock at the door. I remember that day I was so stressed out of my mind. You know, I'm working there on my computer and stuff. My neighbor, I said, yo, what's going on, man? He said, hey, it just broke into your truck. Your whole window shattered, everything. I don't know what they stole, but your truck's a mess. It's all right. Just the way I'm reacting right now is the way I reacted. I said, you know what? Those things I can't control. What I can control is the way I react. Because I got two options. I can react and say, fuck, you know, I hate this, what the fuck is... I can sit back and say, all right, what's my next move? What do I do next? Go out, check the truck. Yeah, surely it was my truck. As I'm walking there, I'm kind of thinking, I said, please don't let it be my truck. You know, maybe the guy got confused. No, surely it was my truck. You know, boom, they stole just my headphones I had there. You know, I had nothing, but they did damage. Close the door, go tape it up, stuff. You know, that night starts raining. I said, of course it's gonna fucking rain that night. You know, next day, get it fixed. I said, all right. Boom, 2 days later, something else happened. Something else happened. To a point that I remember I grabbed my stuff and I drove to a lake that's not far from where I live. I drove to a lake that I've been there before. That place is a very special place for me. It's always gonna be a special place for me there. And I sat there looking at the water, looking at the birds, looking at the people having fun, smiling and stuff. And there's something about nature. There's something just about water, something about the air, something about just earth, where you put your phone away and you just soak it in to kind of recharge, not just your body, but you recharge your soul. Because man, when that fucking steep uphill, you know, that hill starts getting steeper and steeper, some people say, hey, you know what, I'll stay here. It's a little bit, it's not as difficult, you know, I kind of travel. For me, no, I can't. I can't, because those are just examples that I'm sharing with you. I don't have to share them, but those examples that I'm sharing, and there's a lot more stuff to it. But those examples are building the foundation harder, more solid. So whenever future events that I don't know and I can't control come at me, or you get that 2 a.m. phone call, hey, this person died. Oh, hey, you just lost your job. Oh, hey, you just lost a baby. Oh, hey. The scars of life, you should one with pride. Some people make a decision that says, you know what, all this has to happen to me, so I'm gonna fall into addiction. Some people say, oh, this has happened to me, so I'm gonna become the best version I can of myself. Some people do nothing. You're always gonna have a road to go, which means you hit that crossroad in life. You either take a left, you don't know what's there. It might be a dead end, might not be. Might be prosperity, might be depression. You stay in the middle, or you go straight. It might be something else. You take the right. Maybe you meet the person you were supposed to meet. Maybe in a split second, the decision you make can change your future. So how do you know what road to take? Especially when it's raining and you can't see. And imagine you're driving and it's like, fuck, do I take a left? Do I go straight? Do I take a right? That's life right there for us. When everything just pounding, your head is full of emotion, but at the end of the day, what controls this? What controls our decisions? It's this right here. So how do we know what to do? Because the best way to predict the future is to look to the past. Look at the situations you put yourself into. Are you willing to go through those again? Are you willing to do the same mistakes, or are you willing to learn from them and become the best individual you possibly can? I don't have kids. I'm not married. But one day that is one of my goals in life. In the society we live in, you know, the pressure of get married, you know, have kids, get an 8 to 5, you know, go to college, wait for retirement. That's life. For me, I'm talking to myself. Because the thing is, 99.9% of the people end up getting married. They either get married through pressure because got pregnant, because you know what, I can't live without you, even though I hate your guts, we're still gonna get married because I can't picture the vision of you being with somebody else. And you know, very few people are willing to wait patiently and say, you know what, I want a big wedding. There's still other things that need to happen, because maybe, you know, financially we're not there to bring a baby to this world. Because if you're gonna bring a baby to this world and mom and dad have to be working, the baby is being raised by the government, being raised by the school system. No wonder some kids turn out the way they are, because the parents are never home, because they gotta work, because they gotta pay the bills. Who raises the kids? The internet, TikTok, YouTube, social media, all this. Eventually the kid is 17, 18 years old. The parents don't even recognize who the kid is. And then they wonder, where the fuck did I go wrong? But those are the same people that look at you and say, hey, when are you planning on getting married? Hey, when are you planning on having kids? That for me is an insult. Because unless you're going to pay for the ring, unless you're going to pay for the wedding, unless you're going to take care of shut the fuck up. It's kind of looking at somebody and be like, hey, when are you going to get a new car? Hey, when are you going to lose weight? Because goddamn, you look fatter than before. Hey, when are you... You don't go around saying that, right? Because, that's an insult to people. That is the same thing that it falls into that. And I'm falling off subject, but it all revolves around that. The pressure of the society we live in. Nobody questions anything anymore. People just, it is what it is. That's what it is. I can't live life like that, man. And some people get bothered. But for me is, hey, if your shit has no logic, if you come at me with something that makes sense, don't come at me with stuff that makes no sense. Going back to the structure. Look at your structure. What is your structure built on? Is it half and half? Is it mainly sand? Is it mainly rock? We all have made mistakes in the past. We all have gotten angry, screamed at somebody, said stuff we didn't want to. We all lied. We've all done things that we're not proud of. But there's a person that says, you know what, I don't want to be that. I want to change. I want a better future. Small little mistakes here add up. Me falling and me breaking. As life has taken so many twists and turns in I thank the good Lord for the strength, for the resilience that He's given me. Because I truly believe that God does answer your prayers. I remember when I was younger and I would say, God, give me strength. God, give me wisdom. God, give me knowledge. How do you think He does? By the situations that you're put in. By the storms that you're put in. You want strength? Here you go. Let's see how you react to this. Oh God, this is too difficult. I want strength. Same thing in the gym. You go to the gym and you want to get stronger. You got to push yourself. When I train somebody, I look at people's true colors and say, yeah, you know what? I really don't want to get as strong, because the thing is, when somebody is sitting down, relax, there's no pressure from the outside world. There's no pressure. People say, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to become this. But once the car starts moving, once it starts raining, once all this bullshit starts hitting, you're tired, fatigue, your lungs hurt, you feel like your lungs are bleeding, you want to cry, you want to smile, you want to see some form of sunshine, people quit. Now, how bad do you want it in that position? Because that is what makes you finish the finish line. Not when you're sitting down. When people are sitting down watching the game, drinking beer and eating, oh man, that player should have done that. Oh man, this... Excuse me, I don't think you've ever been in the field. I don't think you've ever been in the NFL, more than played maybe middle school or flag football. Now you feel some form of entitlement because you're sitting down with your big ass beer belly saying you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. What have you done? But yet you feel that you know how the game works. Same thing in wrestling. You have all these guys that come in and stuff and say, I want to be a pro wrestler because... And once you put them through drills, once you put them through all the... Fuck Max. Max is crazy. Why is he making us do all this? Why is he making us do, 50 burpees and drop downs and hit the ropes? Man, maybe I don't want to be a wrestler. Because it gets hard, right? For me, I'm some kind of addicted to that. I kind of love the pain. As hard as the days become, part of me craves it. Because it makes me want to get up in the morning. It makes me want to continue. It makes me say, you know what? There has to be a fucking happy ending. There has to be where I raise my hand and I say I won. There has to be. Because if not, everything I did went in vain. Everything I did was pointless. I let my family down. I let my ancestors down. I let all the people that believe in me. The good Lord, they gave me talents. They gave me potential. Hey guys, it's too hard. I'd rather sleep in. I don't want to die. It's a little too hard. I can't do that, man. I cannot do that. So I'll finish with this. People, situations, friends, relationships, death is gonna come. And it's gonna come hitting hard when you least expect it. And it might be back to back, or it might be one and then you take a break. You don't know. Think about that. Think about that video of that structure being hit. You're the structure. You gotta stay firm. Yeah, you may cry, you may break down, you may question everything you've done, but are you standing so strong? And if the answer is yes, then you're headed the right direction. I hope this helps somebody. Don't let the fakeness of this world lie to you and change your perspective of how everybody's doing so great. So everybody that I hear the stories, everybody's going through shit. The difference is some people hide it better than others. But everybody is going through shit. Don't forget that. It's not the weight that breaks you, it's the way you carry the weight that breaks you. I once heard that quote by Greg Plitt. I didn't understand it when I heard it at 19 years old. At 29 years old, I know exactly what he's saying.